Death now, and that vacant Supreme Court seat now making its way onto the campaign trail. This says the first presidential debate is about a week away. And Ryan is joining us right now to talk more about these latest developments. Right?
If it were up to Biden, and it's not, it's the people that surround him. They are seriously radical left Democrats.
Time to take the country back, folks. And it's going to start here.
And that was, of course, former Vice President Biden and President Trump talking more about that. Let's get former Senate President Mike Haridopolos this morning to talk about it. Mike, thanks for sticking around. So we know this is debate number 1, 8 days away. Safe to say, one of the most pivotal debates we've seen ever in a presidential race.
Oh, absolutely. We've never seen the two combatants go at it like we've seen over the last few months, with the overhang, of course, the dreaded coronavirus, the unemployment rate that followed, just the chaos in general with the riots in Milwaukee and other cities around the country. It is going to be a very important debate. Joe Biden has had some difficulties, we know, throughout the summer in his communication skills. Of course, President Trump really is pushing the idea of a debate will show the differences between the two sides. I think you're going to see a record number of people tuning in and really looking at both these candidates very closely as they say, we are the next person who should lead this country, as opposed to they leading the country, especially with the Ginsburg issue over our head. It's just one thing after another. I think that's why it's so important to have debates. I'm glad they're finally moving forward.
Yeah, Mike, I think you're right. I think we'll see record numbers. Here's the problem. They might not watch the second or third debate, which means for both of these candidates, this is the biggest night of their presidential campaign for sure. What does each candidate need to do? I mean, certainly for Joe Biden, focus on the topics. For President Trump, maybe not go off script. What would you say each one has strengths here, and what are their weaknesses also?
Well, I think that's great analysis, first of all, from you, Ryan, is that just like the JFK-Nixon debate, it was the first debate that really set the tone for the future. This will be much the same, in my opinion. And as far as what they need to do, President Trump needs to really, I think, press the issue of what he's done as president. I think as far as the economy is concerned, pre-coronavirus, let alone the real strides made within the Middle East with these recent peace deals with Israel and et cetera, it's in destroying the caliphate or ISIS. That's a big deal. And I think he should stress those as opposed to being so aggressive with President Biden, Vice President Biden. In contrast, I think Biden is a person who just simply wants to survive. He's had some issues, as we've all seen on the TV over the last few months. His goal, I think, is to stay away from the back and forth, stay in a structured debate so that he can keep to his talking points. I think his weakness, not just recently, but his entire political career has been in the back and forth, where he gets either a little bit rushed and makes a gaffe, or gets the facts wrong, as he did just last weekend, where he said there have been 200 million deaths due to coronavirus. And so he's got to be very careful, stay on script. President Trump, I think, just the opposite. He wants to mix it up with the former vice president and show his strength in contrast.
Mike, obviously the replacement of Justice Ginsburg has kind of dominated the conversation and likely will the next several weeks. The president saying earlier this morning he's limited the list to 5, but he's not going to release that till Friday or Saturday, waiting until after the services for Justice Ginsburg. How important will that play in this next week and over the next several weeks, how both candidates handle what is a very difficult situation?
Well, it's a terrible situation. Ms. Ginsburg served our country very well for a long period of time, since 1993 on the U.S. Supreme Court, and those are big shoes to fill. I think it will play a big role in the presidential election, because both candidates are saying, if you elect me, I will select this type of justice. Of course, President Trump will actually have one to put forth. And so it's going to be a real challenge, whether it be on abortion, whether it be on the issue of just the role of government in general. Who makes the law? Is it the courts or is it the legislature? These are real contrasts, and I think will play a pivotal role in how a lot of people vote. But this is going to be, again, just more fuel to the fire for Tuesday. You're going to see the rhetoric being pushed up on both sides, and you're going to see Tuesday, a week from tomorrow, as the day that I think will most likely decide who the next president of the United States will be.
It's a huge night for sure. We're looking forward to that 8 days from now. Mike, really appreciate your time and insight this morning.
My pleasure, Ryan. Have a great week and be safe. Thank you.
Thanks. That is former Senate President Mike Haridopolos. Danielle, Amy, back to you.
Ryan, thanks so much for that.